Hi again. Still Wednesday afternoon, 4:30. I'm home again after like one errand and a very melancholy sit by the lake feeding the seagulls, which was beautiful, but made me cry for half an hour in my car. Um, I'll upload that seagull feeding video. So look at this amazingly rich. Whoops, didn't mean to show that. This is called drinking chocolate that I mixed. It's actually sugar free, and you mix it with milk or milk substitute, and I mix mine with espresso and some cinnamon and some allspice. It's incredibly rich and decadent and comforting, and it's like drinking pudding. It's like a hot custard. What did they used to call that stuff? Frozen hot chocolate. Anyway, this is what it is. Drinking chocolate sugar free with probiotics by a company called Lancato. Um, Really cool. My daughter turned me on to this stuff when you're in a hot chocolate mood or you're in a chocolate mood. Anyway, I was in a self-care, self-pity mode today. So I was like, I'm not just going to make a cup of coffee or tea. I'm going to have a chocolate drink. Well, it's really a mocha. But anyway, I decided to upload again. And this is going to seem self-serving or self-pitying or what's the word I'm looking for? Gratuitous. But there's been a lot of talk lately about bipolar and mental health and anxiety and depression and addiction and all these great funky topics that get thrown around on YouTube, whether they're true or not, whether they're actual diagnoses or not. And I have a pet peeve with people who use those descriptions to get attention or to dramatize their channel, and they perhaps are not under a doctor's care or they're not actually diagnosed by anything except themselves or by maybe Googling symptoms. Um, I'm not bragging about being bipolar. I don't love it at all. I like the creative manic surges I get at times, but then I have days like today, which is why I wanted to upload on a day when I am. Where the hell are my glasses? I'm going to be so irritated if I have to get up now and get my glasses. I thought I had everything all with me. I do have them because I'm going to read poetry to you guys, whether you like it or not. So this is me on a depressed phase, tired, irritable, crying a lot, which is actually good for me. Sometimes I don't cry for a very long time. Wistful, melancholy, full of resentment, anger, self-blame, self-recrimination. I'm a failure. I'm a big, fat, single, lonely, overweight woman making $12.24 an hour. And yet there's so much to be grateful for. There's so many blessings in my life. And so this is just a testament to the fact that you can kind of choose. You can't choose how you feel, but you can choose how you respond to the feelings. When I was in therapy before, Michael taught me what they call STEP: situation, thought, emotion, and performance, and how it all works as like a step. There's a situation, you have a thought about it, you ascribe the thought to an emotion. I think that's the right acronym. And then there's performance, something like that. And I do have so many DBT skills workbooks, handouts from my years in rehab, all the stuff about CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy, and like I have all this knowledge up here, but like I don't do anything about it. I mean, I sometimes do, but sometimes I'm just stuck in a mood or a feeling, and I kind of want to just feel it, you know? And today I'm letting myself just feel it. There's nowhere I have to be until 10 o'clock at night. I did take a full Klonopin about a half an hour ago, which is why I might seem a little loopy or tired. But I was having a lot of anxiety. It's a beautiful, cold, windy day, and I live on a lake, which is very pretty. And I was out there feeding scraps of old apple crumb cake that I made like a week ago, that I had one piece of and then just abandoned it. But decided to feed like a bag of the crumbs to the seagulls. Hang on one second. I have to clean my glasses. Hang on. Here, look at my ceiling for a little bit. Look at one corner of my filthy paddle fan. I don't know why glasses get this dirty. It's kind of weird. And fear not, my smoking fiends. I will be lighting up momentarily. So, there I am feeding seagulls and having a good time doing it because I feel lucky to be living where I do, right next door to a beautiful lake. This is delicious. It's like drinking pudding, and chocolate pudding is like one of my all-time favorite comfort foods. Like, you can keep fancy desserts, you can keep tiramisu and cheesecake and strawberry shortcake and pie and cake and all that. Give me some like really nice homemade chocolate pudding or chocolate mousse. That's going to soothe the savage beast. And there's no sugar in it. There is some milk in it, and I'm kind of lactose intolerant, so whatever. See, this is my little tranquilizer. It's letting me not finish sentences worse than I usually don't finish sentences. And for those of you who think that this is breaking sobriety, it's not. My nurse practitioner knows all about my alcoholism and my treatment for it, but she also knows I suffer from anxiety, and so she lets me take Klonopin, which I don't abuse. So this to me does not feel like getting drunk or high. This is just me kind of relaxed. And if to some people it means I'm not sober, then so be it too. I don't know. Hang on. I started thinking about Nick while I was at the lake, and I started thinking about our time, our whirlwind month together. Well, we had more than a month together, but we had a month where we were just doing outings and little trips and retreats and Broadway, and we were going to go to the casino, but we never did because we had a huge fight, and we sort of semi-broke up at that point. But we went to Lake George, which I had never been to before. It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful region in the Adirondacks here. It took us about 5 hours to get there. And we took a beautiful boat ride on the lake. I know some of you remember my uploads. I think I may have deleted some of them actually. But it wasn't just that it was romantic. It was like, it wasn't always romantic with him. It was a very, very, very deep connected friendship. And I felt fully myself with him. There's not that many people you can feel fully yourself with. I mean, there's spouses and partners and lovers you can have where you have a chemistry, you have a spark, you have like a physical attraction, or you have an excitement, or, you know, and all of those things aren't mutually exclusive of what I'm talking about, because we had moments of all of those things. But when I was on that beautiful, beautiful boat with him on that gorgeous lake, on a day similar to today, it was cold and really windy, and the water was so blue and so clean and so choppy, and I felt fully present. You know, like I have ADD or ADHD or something issues, along with a litany of other issues and problems. But for those hours we were on that boat and we were just hanging out and going to restaurants and shopping, and we went to an arcade where we felt like little kids, I was fully present. Like I wasn't thinking about work. I wasn't thinking about anything else, anywhere else I would rather have been. My mind wasn't wandering to different things, or, you know, my past, or all the things we had talked about, or there was like no stress, and I was fully present. And I haven't felt that way in a long time. And so, where's my ashtray? There's the requisite big arm shot, right? When you reach over. I just got ridiculously melancholy today looking at the water and letting myself cry, you know, because there's nothing wrong with crying. We spend our lives apologizing for crying or feeling like it's this end of the world if you're sad, you know, but really when you have the ability to be sad and remember things and have wonderful memories that, you know, you kind of wish could have always lasted, but for a million reasons they couldn't have, and it's good that it didn't last, you can still sometimes indulge in those sad feelings of you know, how when you're in the midst of something beautiful and happy going on, you just, during those moments, you're obviously not looking ahead to like, oh, someday this is going to end. You know, you're just thinking about the next time you're going to be together, or the next day, or the next whatever it is you're going to do, you know. And the funny and ironic thing about the intensity of the relationship for me was that it wasn't sexually intense. I'm not going to get into a lot of detail here, but some of you kind of know. We were not on the same page in that way, pretty much at all. But there was a passion that was like tender, if that's not too contradictory. There was like hours of kissing and just holding hands, and I wonder if I'm going to wind up really uploading this or not. Maybe it's therapeutic for me. I don't know. When we would go to coffee or go out to eat or sit at Starbucks, we would just sit across a table from each other and just stare at each other and smile and tell stories and anecdotes and share memories and jokes, and he'd just spontaneously reach across the table and hold both of my hands in his, and sometimes he'd kiss my hand, and you know, and that's how it was when we'd see a movie too. Like our hands would just be having this whole separate affair, you know, other than what was going on the screen, and just a lot of nuzzling, a lot of non-sexual affection and touching, and I hadn't had that in my life in 5 years, and he hadn't had it in more years than that, and I miss it. You know, I don't know what else to say. We still talk from time to time. He still supports me in my writing endeavors, and he supports me emotionally, and I know anytime I needed to really talk, he'd be there for me. There's no hatred whatsoever. It's just that life took us in different directions for different reasons. And today I was just really awash in feelings. And I didn't get a lot done today, and I tend to beat myself up for that. But you know what? It's a day off. I do work. I work a lot. I work 10 to 12-hour shifts at night. I take care of people. It's an important job, you know, even though it doesn't pay a lot. I take pride in it, you know. So I don't need to feel guilty that I'm sitting here drinking hot chocolate and smoking a cigarette and speaking on my YouTube channel. There are a lot of household projects I could be doing, including major ones that I've been putting off for years. But I don't have the energy. All I got done today was mailing a poster to my aunt, like a map sort of a thing, because she collects maps, and feeding crumbs to the seagulls. It was kind of pretty. I'm going to upload that video too. And I've just been looking out the window at a really beautiful day, hanging out with my cats, because they're always happy when I'm home, and just talking to you guys and sharing, and hoping in a certain sense that my level of honesty can get other people to feel validated in their emotions and their ups and downs, etc. This is now 13 minutes, which is good once in a while for me to do, because usually I keep my video snippets very short. Now that my hair has settled down a little bit, it's I like it. I like that it feels textural. I like that it feels kind of piecey and messy instead of just sitting there on my head. I've been taking a lot of vitamins lately, and a lot of hair vitamins, and I have a thickness back again, and a lot of the thinning has gone away. It's kind of a messy drink. The chocolate kind of winds up all over the rim. Like I said, I've been eating a lot. Usually when I'm grieving something, I don't eat at all. And when the relationship first ended, I wasn't eating. I had no appetite. But lately I'm like, I need comfort. I need, you know, something to put in my mouth. Bad pun. We did do that, I have to tell you. Hi, baby. It's just me being authentic. I don't know what to say. It was funny because he and I talked about that one time, and we were talking about levels of intimacy and this and that, and he knew I always really complained that we didn't have sex. And I said to him one time, you know, how come it's all about you? How come when I do certain things to you, it's fine and you can function? And he'd go, Well, that's just another form of physical affection. That's no different than a hug or a kiss. And I'm like, what planet are you from? A blowjob is like a hug or a kiss? It's a kiss, all right, but like, give me a break, you know? That is not like giving someone a hug. That's another thing that got me started today was like, I was looking for something in my wallet because I'm kind of weird. I have this nice wallet, but I often don't put my cards or receipts or like business cards in it. Everything's just floating around in this black hole of my handbag. But I was looking for something specifically in my wallet, and I came across this little secret compartment in there, and there was a picture of him and I. You know, you take those silly pictures in like a photo booth because we went to the arcade. We were the only ones there because we were at Lake George during like an off season, and he had never been in one of those like photo booths before. You know, he and I were like we were like 11-year-old kids on a date. It was such a rush that weekend. And I have no regrets either. I needed it and I deserved it. I never go anywhere really. I mean, I know you guys think I'm in the city all the time. And I do enjoy the city and I feel lucky to be right near it, but I don't travel anywhere. I don't like go anywhere. I don't go on little vacations. But I found this picture that I had kept of him and I engaged in a very passionate kiss because he really was very clumsy in a lot of ways. But a great kisser, like really, really passionate. Like he would do this thing where he would, hold my face in both of his hands while he was kissing me, or would be kissing, and he'd like, he'd cup my chin, or he'd like go like this under my chin so that I could, go up to meet his lips. And it was so romantic. And like, I had not had that in my life for a long time. And it was not really in my first or second marriage. In my second marriage, there was a lot of like sort of lustful, fiery passion, like quick, angry revenge sex or animalistic role play kind of shit. But it wasn't passionate or tender or romantic or like every time I would speak, Nick would just look at me like in awe, like the look on his face. Like my second husband would like yawn and be bored and roll his eyes at me a lot. Didn't want to hear my poetry, didn't want to hear, what my dreams were. And with Nick, it was just like the look on his face when I would talk. He made me feel like a queen, I think very fondly of that. So that's kind of where I'm at today. I'm lazing around at home. I took a Klonopin because I'm not going anywhere. It might make me take another little nap later. I'm trying to get psyched up about tomorrow. I'm trying to think about what I want to wear to the city, which is kind of fun to dress up a little bit or, try to look a little funky or whatever, especially when it involves poetry and, being in a creative writing house environment. Time for another one already. I put things down and then I lose them. Like I've already lost my lighter. No, I didn't. I'm not smooth at this yet. Oh, God. Cut. I need to quit this. I just can't picture quitting right now. I've already quit alcohol and I've quit relationships and kind of back to my boring life in a way. Whoops, except not tomorrow. Tomorrow won't be boring. Tomorrow will be nice. And I'm looking forward to seeing my friend Steve. He's always fun to hang out in a diner with and just people watch and absorb that indescribable city energy that I get when I'm downtown. And I put bronzer on again today. I think it's too heavy. I don't really know the difference between bronzer and contour. The palette on my eyes is Juvia's Place, and it's like their red collection. I think it's called the Berries, because I'm really into like fiery sunset oranges and corals and reds and burgundies on my eyes lately. And the eyeliner is a cobalt blue Maybelline Master Precise or something, and it's my favorite felt tip eyeliner pen that makes a really clean line, and it doesn't like speckle at the edges or pull or drag. You know, whenever I talk this way, I'm talking to you, Heather, if you're even watching my video, because I know that you love makeup and stuff like that. I get a huge kick out of it. I paint up my face because it's like a fun hobby. It's not to be like conceited or look at me. It's because like it relaxes me in the morning to sit down with all my makeup in front of me and my big lighted makeup mirror, and I just kind of drink coffee and smoke and listen to music and put my face on. And trust me, when I don't wear anything at all for a couple of days in a row, it means I'm pretty damn depressed, especially if I go out in public that way. Sometimes when I wear the false lashes to a meeting or something, I feel a little bit too showboaty, but I don't even care. It's like if somebody wants to judge me for that, I mean, there's women in those meetings with incredibly long, like dragon lady nails, with the gems encrusted in them and all the different colors and, really long nails. And I'm like, how is that any different than my long eyelashes, It's just a slight exaggeration of femininity. Yeah, so I don't know if I ever really disclosed to you guys that Nick pretty much admitted to me that he's gay, which is fine. I don't judge, but it made me feel a little deceived and used and duped while he was experimenting to find out if he was gay or not. He has vacillated on it and said things like, I don't think I am, or I'm not sure if I am, or I don't know, or I'm confused, or I have sexual dysfunction. And like, at the core, I still love him as a human being. But it's kind of weird to be a straight woman. Well, I'm kind of bi myself, but that's another whole story for another time. But when I finally found that out, I was just like, I can't live a lie. Like, I don't want to be someone's experiment. You know what I mean? I want to be someone's whole world someday. I don't know how, when, or if that could ever happen for me. And that's another thing that depresses me. I'm independent and I'm used to it. And I can certainly live okay this way as long as I stay busy and employed and go to meetings and have friends and do activities. You don't just die because you don't have a romantic relationship. But I feel like I wouldn't be a human being if I didn't admit that that's what I kind of really want, And things just change all the time. I feel like I'm just evolving and changing all the time. And I don't know if that's mental illness or just a normal facet of being a person, or if it's like, rapid cycling or just the change of weather, the change of seasons, getting older. When you get older, you start being really introspective and you start looking at your whole life and you look at patterns and you look at things that work and don't work. And my takeaway from all of it is that all you can do is be authentic and be honest and open and real and just hope that people accept you for who and what you are and how you are. And if they don't, it doesn't matter. You still have to be yourself at the end of the day, which is why I'm a pretty accepting person of many different types of people. And it's not that I have a problem with gayness. I've got a ton of gay friends. I love them. I just never really dated one before, or been used as a beard because someone wants to be in denial. I heard another funny phrase for it recently. It's when you're a man's handbag, and it was funny because Nick used to never have a problem holding my handbag. And sometimes I would even tease him because I'd be like, can I have that back now? Like if we were walking into the laundromat or something, or I had to get something out of the car, and he'd be like, I'll hold your bag, and I'd be like, oh, you don't have to hold my bag. Most guys don't want to do that. Oh, no, I'm secure in my masculinity. I have no problem. I'm of your service. I'm your love servant. That was another thing. The whole like sort of submissive aspect of him. I don't mind it. It's always nice when people want to do things for you and wash your car and shovel your walk and do your dishes and light your cigarette and open car doors and all that. I thought he was just being a gentleman. I didn't know he was like feeling deeply submissive to me. Usually it's been the opposite role in my life in relationships. Boy, I'm sharing a lot with you guys today. Probably going to get a lot of thumbs down too. Have at it. It's fine. It's good. So that's my day today. This is a really, really long video. This is like super long. I don't know if any of you are still with me. 25 freaking minutes. I think my record ever has been maybe 28 minutes. It's funny too because I'm bearing my whole soul to you guys, and some YouTubers, some content creators will talk 28 minutes about their diets that aren't working or their whatever. I'm so tired of the whole food and body and fat subject. Ouch. On YouTube. What interests me is when people talk about their struggles, their mental health issues, the bravery of being vulnerable and being real and raw and authentic. I know I keep using that word, but I look at my cat right now laying regally on her cat tower, looking out the window. Well, she's trying to look out the window, but I've got the blind up. Hi, Emily. Can you guys see her? And I'm like jealous. I'm jealous of cats because animals are just themselves 24/7. They're just like, here I am. I'm living my life. I'm a cat taking a nap, just ate a snack, looking out a window, and I'm over here feeding seagulls today and crying and listening to sad Eva Cassidy music and just weeping and thinking about all these things I wish I had in my life, and then feeling guilty even about that because I know I've got plenty in my life to be very, very grateful for. And I just was not in the mood for therapy today. I just wasn't. Sometimes I'm down for it. Sometimes it energizes me. Chris is a good guy. It's not the same dynamic I had with Michael, of course, but that was problematic. But I couldn't do it today. I was running late anyway. I overslept, and I didn't feel pulled together, and I didn't want to rush to get there and then have a shortened session. So I just made another appointment. I may or may not get charged for this one, but hey, c'est la vie. I'm going to get charged for my last week's missing dental appointment too, because again, I was running late. It's funny how when you're lonely and you live alone and you sometimes want to nest and just be home, and other times you're jumping out of your skin because you can't wait to be out amongst people and in the world and keeping busy. Even when I'm in that mode, I find it hard to get out of my own way in my own house and just get out the door. So I was thinking of maybe coloring my hair again. I know I do it too much, but I got this box color, this Schwarzkopf, which is called Black Cherry. And it's a really, really deep, deep, deep brown with like cherry tones, which in a month will turn me pinkish orange again. And then I'll just be changing it again. But it was like a $4 box of colors. So I'm going to go. I'm going to hang around and watch Netflix and make some dinner later for myself and listen to music and maybe take another rest and maybe do a little bit of my bedroom cleaning project because that has gotten terrible. It's funny how when you're in a sloppy mood or mode or lazy or depressed, you just can let things go. I don't ever let the basics go. Dishes, garbage, cat box, those are like the three I just have to check off every day no matter how I feel. But things like making my bed, putting laundry away, dusting in there, vacuuming, organizing, I let it go. I mean, I go in there and I just fall onto my bed, pull up a cover over myself at night and figure, fuck it. No one else is here. No one's in bed with me. No one's criticizing how the pillows are placed or whatever. But yet at other times when I'm feeling on top of the world, and unfortunately, usually that's when I'm in a relationship, I really care about how the bedroom looks. And I light candles in there and I clean it and I put plants up and I string all kinds of little lights, fairy lights around. Not right now, and stay tuned because that by tonight or tomorrow, I'm probably going to be a whole different Gigi Days, Lisa, and it's all good. I've now spoken for a half an hour. I really can't believe I did that, but I'm glad I had you guys here to listen to me and I could share with. And, maybe something I've talked about has touched a nerve. I really wish I got a lot more feedback. I love you guys who talk back to me, 3 or 4 or 5 of you, but I wish all my subscribers would sometimes make themselves known, and not just the hate watchers or the ones who just have subscribed to me once upon a time and then no longer watch, or the ones just watching because they want to see me smoke. It's all good. You got to be brave when you're on YouTube, and I've got a tiny, tiny subscribership. I can't even imagine putting videos out as content for thousands and thousands of people watching every day, and I can't imagine being Amber or Chantal, or Life by Jen, or Amy's Life Journey. Those particular 4 have a ridiculous amount of hate watchers, and no, I no longer pity them for it at all. Some people are bullies, some aren't. Um, they are outrageous. They do deserve what comes their way because they put it all out there. I'm putting it all out there right now too, but I'm not, 600 pounds pretending to know things about nutrition and health. I'm like 245 or something and drinking a cup of chocolate. My court date is March 2nd. I'm concerned about that too, but Michael used to always say to me, all will be well. And my lawyer says more will be revealed. And my sponsor just tells me to take it one day at a time. And my friends just say, we love you. We support you. You're doing great. So sometimes that's all you need to hear, even if you're just saying it to yourself in a mirror or on a YouTube camera. That's it. My longest video ever. Who knew? Who knew this day was going to be this way? Peace out, you guys. Thank you for listening. I really do appreciate it. And I love you. Talk to you soon. Take care.